Hello students, today we will discuss the next topic in your syllabus, that is steps for setting up a proper organizational structure or steps in organizing. So let's start. In your book the points may be different but the overall meaning or the headings of the topic refers to the same steps. So let's see one by one. The first step in setting up a proper organizational structure to identify the work to be performed. It is very necessary to identify the activities to be performed to achieve organizational objectives. And the total activities again are divided into functions and sub-functions. Like the main overall activity may be of a company to produce good quality products. Now for this, the different functions at different level will be performed, then only the last outcome will be favorable. So to achieve this outcome, the work to be performed must be identified. The next thing is division of work. When the work to be performed has been identified, then the next step is dividing the total workload into functions and sub-functions. These functions are different tasks which are totally different from each other. Like purchase. Purchase is a separate branch of function, and sales is totally different. So these are totally different functions like any other accounting, advertising, financing, staffing, or marketing. All these are different functions. So it should be clearly laid down that what are the different functions we need presently. Like in small companies, the advertising may not be a function and that may be done through an advertising agency. So the marketing manager who is carrying out the work of marketing may carry on the work of advertising. So it has to be decided which are the functions and the functions which are actually needed at present according to the organization size and its nature of business. The next thing is grouping of similar activities. That means when there are numerous activities, then the grouping of similar activities may be done. Like in a factory where machines are used for production process, there will be always some problems in machineries. So repair and maintenance department has to be made there if there are regular need of services of the mechanics. So grouping of similar activities may be done according to the size of the business and nature of the business. And seeing all the activities, it can be grouped easily. So grouping of similar activities is also a step. Again, the next thing is assignment of duties. When the functions and activities have been grouped together, then assignment of duties is the next part. So who will head the purchase department, or who will head the sales department, or accounts manager, who will be accounts manager, all these things has to be considered, and the person who is most suited for any post, he is assigned the duty. The next thing is delegation of authority. This is in your given in detail in your syllabus also, but here we can see introduction to it. That delegation of authority means when authority is distributed between some persons, like where a manager is there and a vice manager is there, assistant manager is there. So manager can give some authority to assistant manager, like if the company grows bigger and salesmen are being given traveling allowance, then an assistant manager may be given the authority to authorize their traveling allowance bill. And in some cases, it may not be done like so that then that will be called a centralized system in which all the authority is owned by some persons. So the authority delegation of authority brings ease in smooth functioning of the business. So, delegation of adequate authority may be done, and defining responsibility relationship. So, it should be also clearly laid down that what kind of deficiency will lead to anybody's responsibility in any work. Like if quality is not coming out according to the standards, then the quality manager may be held responsible. Whereas if wastage is happening more, then the laborers and supervisors may be held responsible. So this is an example, and like this, many more responsibilities are there in the organization, and it is the responsibility of the management while organizing. They have to clearly define who has what kind of responsibility, and under any unavoidable or unfavorable circumstances, who will be held responsible for any lack in work. And also it has to be always clearly defined that who is superior to whom, and what authority superior has on the uh, subordinates, and subordinates also must know that what are the powers of superior, and what is his responsibility and his duty. So in this way all the responsibility relationships are defined. Again, providing proper physical facilities is also a step in organizing, like infrastructure, working space, healthy environment, smooth functioning of work. Whatever is needed in all these activities must be provided to the workers so that they can work smoothly. Otherwise, there will be hurdles, and there will be lack in the standardization of work, and the work will not match with the standards defined. So, physical facilities should also be provided. Again, proper coordination is needed where there are many employees. Then the coordination must be done that the individual goal should not uh, overtake the organizational goal. So all the activities are combined in such a way that it will yield the organizational goal. Again, proper communication is the key to all the above steps, that when communication is proper between the different employees of the organization, then it becomes easier for functioning smoothly. The changes, the all the things goes downward or upward, informations go downward or upward very smoothly, and it will definitely lead to better functioning of the organization. So these are all the steps in organization. I am sending this file to you as classwork. Read it, and also read from your book, and also I am sending assignment for planning chapter. So go through that also and complete the assignment and submit on the time. Thank you.